Mounce, chapter 20, BBG, sentence 4. All right. You probably recognize before you go very far that Jesus is going to be your subject, and therefore you need a third singular ending, but you already memorized this particular form as answered, right? So bottom line is Jesus answered and said to him. All right. And like I said, these two particular verbs you already should have memorized, so that's not a big deal. Hopefully you recognize this, as the dative because the iota subscript. So to him, Jesus answered and said to him, if, aeon, if, tis without the accent is not interrogative, so you basically, it's someone or anyone. So if someone or if anyone, and either one of those is fine because it's what the word means, either way. Then you have agapa, and what you're going to do with this is you're going to say, well, I need to go back to what I memorized as the verb for the lexical form, and then you'll hear yourself say agapao, which tells you that it's a contract verb. As a contract verb in the present active, you're going to recognize that that's going to have a circumflex, and in the third singular, that iota is going to drop down in subscript because it's a contract verb in the present active. So that's present active third singular from agapao. So if someone or if anyone loves, and then you have this accusative form again from ego, me, then you have these two, the definite article and the noun that have a new after them. So hopefully you recognize that's direct object. It's going to be accusative with a possessive mu following it. So the word of me, but it's the direct object, so you're going to yank that out and put it after the verb. We're going to go to the verb first then, and then say the word of me or my word. So if anyone or if someone loves me, then you have your verb here, and typical future, I would hope you recognize from tereo, but you have typical third singular ending, and then you have the sigma that tells you that that is a future form. Again, from tereo, so it's he will keep because of the sigma. All right, so he will keep my word, right? And then you have this next subject clause because that tells you, even if you didn't recognize it here, ho pater, you say pater, and hopefully you say father. I mean, hopefully you heard enough language that you recognize that's father, but this definitely tells you that it's a subject as soon as you see that definite article. So my father, right? Then you got same kind of thing going on that you had with terese. You got another contract verb, typical third singular ending, but with a sigma, which tells you that it's future. So you have he will love, right? But your subject is father, so like my father will love. My father will love whom? Well, my father will love him. And again, with a accusative ending, tells you the direct object, and that makes sense. So, and then you got a chi to give you the next clause. And again, you probably remember that when you have a prepositional phrase, very, very common for Greek to put it before the verb, whereas in English we will toss prepositional phrases typically after the verb. So I would encourage you to always, when you see a prepositional phrase like that before the verb, just go to the verb first and then pull that prepositional phrase to after the verb. So obviously this is to him. That should be easy enough for you by now. But then you got this verb, and again, this is another one of those that is going to change radically in the future stem, and hopefully you recognize this as the future stem of erchomai, because erchomai goes to elusomai. Now in this case, unlike the last verb like this that we encountered in an earlier sentence, this one is deponent both in the present and the future stems, because again, as soon as you hear yourself say elusomai, you should know that the future stem is deponent, and coming from erchomai, which also is deponent. Even though you see this passive ending on there, you're going to translate it as an active verb. And again, this metha should tell you that it's first plural, or we, right? But again, future form of erchomai, which becomes elusomai. So we will come, and then your prepositional phrase to him. So going back and looking at the sentence as a whole, Jesus answered and said to him, if anyone or someone loves me, he will keep my word, and my Father will love him, and we will come to him.